up, guys? It is Drop the Mic Live Mic. I am Shannon E. China Black 007. For some who know me and some who do not. This is Drop the Mic Live Mic at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What is going on, Jay? Listen, guys. Yes, it's Drop the Mic Live Mic. Listen, I'm so excited and I'm so grateful tonight to be on after not being in existence for about a month now. Okay, let's go. That's right, let's go. Listen, people, nothing has changed. This is Drop the Mic Live Mic, and I'm Shannon E. Like I said, I'm so grateful and so thankful to be on tonight. I have not done Drop the Mic in a little while. If you guys been following me, you guys will see that I have not done Drop the Mic in a little while, but I am back. And I'm back in action, okay? Listen, I want you guys to come on here. I want you guys to share this live with 5 different people. I also want you to click the link in my bio because I am going live right now on YouTube as well, okay? Listen, hey Jay, what's going on? So as I continue to talk and as I continue to discuss what we're going to talk about tonight, I'm going to share my live with about 5 different people, okay? Now I'm about to share my live with about 15 to 20 different people, but I want you guys, as you come on, to share my live with about 5 different people, okay? So we know that there's a power in numbers. At least 2 will join on tonight, and all I need is an extra ear, if not 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, let's get started. Thank you. Listen, share. Not only can share my live, but I also want you guys to click the link in my bio. All right, click the YouTube link in my bio. So tonight's conversation, candid conversation that we are having is going to be on worthiness, okay? Feeling worthy, feeling unworthy, the worthy and the not worthy. Is there such thing? How does this affect our mental health? How does this affect our mental state? How are we doing with the fact of feeling worthy and unworthy, okay? For all my new followers, because I have a ton of new followers, and I want to be clear on what Drop the Mic Live Mic is and what we do on here, okay? I, Shannon E., aka China Black 007, has chose to bring this platform to basically discuss topics that are not discussed, to discuss topics that are not discussed, to discuss topics that are swept underneath the rug and that we need to have a conversation about quick, fast, and in a hurry, okay? The world is constantly changing. Socialization skills is constantly changing, so on and so forth. And we need to always educate ourselves and be a student, as well as feed off each other, learn off each other. So this is what Drop the Mic Live Mic is about. It is definitely a safe space, and this is what we're going to do. So tonight's conversation is about worthiness, feeling worthy. How are we doing with our worthiness? You understand? A lot of issues that we have, a lot of problems that we have, a lot of unresolved topics that we have to do with worthiness. Okay, we don't know it and we really don't acknowledge it, but it has to do with the worthy and the unworthy. This is what we do. Okay, so let's get right into it. So when I think of worthy, I think of feeling deserving, right? Feeling deserving, feeling recognized, feeling seen, feeling heard, things of that nature. And a lot of us don't feel any of those things, okay? A lot of us walk around with smiles all day long. A lot of us walk around with confidence. A lot of us walk around with, a lot of great attributes, and we don't feel worthy. We do not feel worthy, okay? One of the things that made me go into discussing this topic is acknowledging the fact that people, places, and things can actually see things about you, right? That you don't always see about yourself. Okay. And in saying that and in knowing that, not to say that you're not feeling worthy, but at the same time, it is like, if they can see things that you don't see in yourself, maybe you might feel that you're not worthy of this or you're not worthy of that because you're not acknowledging how much good is coming your way. As you may acknowledge the bad or the things that you are blessed with that that you may not see that others are seeing for you. So in a sense, that comes with some feeling of not feeling worthy of something because you're not feeling deserving of your blessings to the point where you're not celebrating in the space that you should be celebrating and elevating in the space that you should be elevating. Okay, so that is one of the things that made me wanted to have this conversation on tonight. All right. Another thing is that we don't explore that avenue enough. We don't explore our worthiness and us feeling unworthy enough. You understand what I'm saying? We always go into how we feel as far as like depression or as far as mental health. We're quick to diagnose each other, right? And our mental state and things of that nature, but we never ever, I don't hear the conversations being held as if like, I don't feel worthy. Okay. And a lot of the times that's what it is. Okay. So I just want to be clear on that, clear on the air with that. Let's go. So worthiness, having or showing the qualities or abilities that merit, which means deserve, recognition in a specified way. Okay. Issues worthy of further consideration. So like I said, sometimes I feel that we have a hard time when it comes to feeling or being worthy of something or someone, right? How many of you guys have that issue? Like just, comment, say me, I say, all of that. Like we all have issues at some point with feeling worthy, right? Feeling deserving, feeling recognized, feeling recognition, feeling like, I'm seen, I'm heard. And even though we do a lot of things and we're not supposed to do it for recognition, we're not supposed to do it to be seen, we're not supposed to do it to be heard. It feels good when we are seen and when we are heard, right? It gives us an extra boost of confidence. It really do. So it kind of made me question, like, are we not supposed to be doing this for that? Or are we not? To a certain extent, acknowledging another human being, giving them that affirmation, letting them know you've seen them, you've heard them, things of that nature, even people, places, or things. You understand what I'm saying? It just depends on the scenario. Like that gives us the confidence that we need. That gives us the extra happiness. That gives us the extra boost. That gives us the feel good. You understand what I'm saying? That gives us the motivation. Let's take it on a higher vibration. That gives us that gives us the motivation, the encouragement to keep on going. You understand what I'm saying? Like, please share. Like, do you believe feeling worthy will make you succeed in life? I do. I do feel that this is what I'm discussing with you right now. Absolutely. I think, I'm sorry, my brain is going faster than me. So I do feel that succeeding in life comes with worthiness. Yes, I do. You understand? I definitely do. And that's what I was just basically saying. I was just saying that recognition and that I see you and that I love you and that I care for you, that affirmation, that helps you and allows you to become more. It really does. You understand? And not to say that you won't be more without it. You understand? Especially if you know who you are and you standing strong in the space that you're in. But that does help. Yes, it does. Especially when it comes from loved ones, like people who love you, people who support you, people who care for you, all of those things. Yes, it motivates you to be extreme on another level. Absolutely. So yes, I don't know if I answered your question. Did I answer your question? Because yes. Okay. So where does the lack of worthiness come from? Like, where does the lack of worthiness come from? You know what I'm saying? Like, we can talk about not feeling worthy, right? And we know that that's a feeling, but we don't necessarily know where the lack of worthiness comes from, where not feeling deserving, not feeling, well, what I want to say is that it probably comes from not feeling appreciated, right? But not feeling deserving, just not feeling deserving. Where does that come from? We as a people, we always try to act as if like other people don't define us, right? Or certain places and things don't define us. Because it's not only people, but of course, obviously, like people rule the world. So I have to talk about relationships intertwining with each other. So, but it's people, places, and things. Like it really is. We always feel as if, or we'll always say like it doesn't define us. We know who we are and things of that nature. So how come there's so many people out here depressed? How come there's so many people out here insecure? How come there's so many people out here who would rather be in excuse my language, but in a fucked up space and rock with that instead of like working hard and challenging themselves to be in a better space? How come there's all of these things that we settle for? Okay, if people, places, and things is not what defines us. At some point, we feel unworthy, but most of the time we're fronting, right? Most of the time we're fronting. Most of the time we acting like this ain't what it is. We good, this, that, and the third, or whatever case may be. But a lot of the times we feel unworthy. And let's even talk about being in a happy space. How come even when you're in a happy space, you don't know how to accept greatness? How come the receiving is so hard? That's the part that you feel unworthy. Why do you feel like you're not deserving of something you work hard for? Why do you feel like you're not deserving of being in a better space? Why do you feel that your past defines your future? Why do you feel that your past defines your now? You understand what I'm saying? Where does that feeling come from? Where does that stem from? You know, because there's people out there who have the world, and that's where it comes with money doesn't define who you are, so on and so forth, wealthy people, so on and so forth. But let's bring it down even one notch. How is it that you are, you know, you change your life and you don't feel like you accustomed to that? Like it doesn't feel a norm to you, you know? Because I'm always working on my grind. I criticize myself to be better. I don't know. I don't know if you should criticize yourself to be better, though. Maybe critique, you know. I don't know if you should criticize yourself to be better, but if that works for you, then that's what it is. You know, you have to motivate yourself by any means. So if that's what works for you, then that's what it is. Okay, I can't say anything about that. But what I will say is that, yes, if you were talking about the statement that you made earlier prior to that, then that's going to help you succeed. Yes. Pushing yourself to feel worthy. Absolutely. And pushing someone else to feel worthy. Absolutely. We need all of that. You know? But where does the lack of worthiness come from? Does it come from childhood? Does it come from, like, that's the part that I'm trying to figure out. And I'm seriously asking a question, guys. I'm asking a question to my audience. If someone could help me out to let me know or what their opinion is in terms of where does that come from? Like, I need to know. Tell me, baby girl, because I need to know. Yes. Hello. Is it Throwback Thursday or is it Sunday? Like, what we doing?
I'm saying, y'all know my sister up here having a conversation and we in a comment.
Nah. Well, first of all, before you even get started, we are on a whole new page, on a whole new level. We are on Dropthamiclivemic _, page. Okay, so you need to let people know who you are. Okay, because right about now you a new face and you a new B. There's no throwbacks with you right about now. All right.
All right, so I'm Jay. I go by J1% on here.
That's
31.
right.
I don't know what.
That's good enough. Go and follow Jay. Go and follow him and let him know what's going on right about now. You understand what I'm saying? You follow him, and that's just that. So, what do you think, Jay, in terms of why we feel unworthy at times?
So when you asked that question, I was watching in the comments, and a few things popped out. One,
look, Tamika said, "And my godson." Right, Tamika _Royal. That's Jay, aka her godson.
Unworthiness is not just something that's self-inflicted on yourself. And what I mean by self-inflicted, I'll break it down. Self-inflicted is stuff that we obviously replay in our head on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by daily basis is if we having a bad day at work, experience something, drastic within our home or social life on our own. Right. Depending on the level of severity that it has on us mentally and emotionally, we feel like we're not doing a good job. Right. Think about it as being an employee for a company. If you see somebody who's always lacking and slacking on their work, get more praise than you are when you making sure that you dot every I, cross every T, you put your exclamations and your quotations, and you're using your punctuality correctly in everything you do, you feel like you're not worthy of the position. If you see somebody else who's half-stepping be awarded for that, right? So what that would be a sense of, self-inflicting, which would be
so that's kind of like rejection.
Not just the rejection, but you also self-sabotaging your own worthiness.
Right. Absolutely.
I also think, like, to a certain point, repetition and cycles. If you are not fully, completely healed from being told as a kid, like, you was a problem child, you wasn't good enough, you wasn't worthy enough.
Ooh. Oh, let's get into it. Let's get into it, baby. Who we got on here?
The one and only. The one and only.
Go ahead, Jay. Finish talking, because then we're going to introduce the one and only.
If you grow up in a specific cycle that you, as an adult, don't decide to break that cycle of changing what has always been implanted in you, you start to feel like you're not worthy. You feel like you're never going to be good enough. You feel like you're never going to make it. You feel like you can never come out of the struggle. You know what I'm saying? As many times as you can get a bunch of leaders and a bunch of good people that will cross your paths on a daily or on a monthly or a yearly basis, if you're constantly always hearing this and you don't hear from hearing it, and you don't retrain your mind to process correctly, then you're always going to be stuck in this unworthy feeling.
So I got a question. So we talking about, like, what you saying, right? We're talking about, like, in terms of being a full-grown adult in different situations and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So that feeling has to come from somewhere, though. Like, all these feelings that we have come from somewhere. Like, we are taught to be sad, we're taught to be mad, we're taught to be glad, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Through, like, our experiences through life. So I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna think that maybe that unworthy feeling comes from something that was from young, because as a grown adult, in competition, basically, like fair competition, work, things like that, promotions, everything that you just named, or whatever case may be, that doesn't necessarily have to be your feeling. You understand what I'm saying? So when you have that feeling, where's that coming from?
So when it comes to self-worth, you guys can hear me?
Yes.
Self-worth is how you feel about yourself, right? So there could be thousands of people outside of you, 919. There could be thousands of people outside that could see your worth, but you don't see it. Most of the time, people that don't see their self-worth is because of situations that either they put themselves in or was born into. That's why I said there's so many different ways, so many different reasons to why people don't see their self-worth. Past trauma. They grew up with a family that didn't like them, and they always say, "You ain't worth shit. You ain't worth shit." That was kind of So they grow up feeling, "I ain't worth shit. I'm not worth bettering myself. I'm not worth a career out of myself," because I was not told, not one time in my life, I was worthy. That's
right.
Why people don't feel that they are worthy, because things. Okay. Some people
repeat that part. I didn't hear that part. Repeat that part.
Their sins.
Okay.
Some people feel they're not worthy because they did so much shit in the past, but now that they're trying to fix their life, they feel like they are not worthy to sit next to God, or sit and have the good things come to them because of the past sins that they have done. And then their surroundings.
Right.
Some women and some men don't feel that. They could be in a situation where their partner or significant other does not show them that they are worthy. So there's so many different scenarios to why certain people or people will not feel worthy. But one of the main ones is the trauma.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, I think that everything comes down to when you're not feeling worthy, it's based off of some type of trauma, whether it happened when you was a child. Even think about, and I don't mean this like, I'm not trying to, like, I don't mean to
just say it. Just say it.
Topic. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to touch on a touchy subject, but it's like a woman. If a woman experienced a sexual interaction as a teenager, think about how she transitions into a woman, and two things that either happen. Either she's going to have, and mind you, these are both negative effects, right? If something happened to her sexually as a teenager, let's say maybe she was like 16 to like 18 years old, when she's in her 20s and her 30s, it has two negative effects. And it's either she's going to constantly be vulnerable to having intercourse all the time with whoever, or she's going to be very fearful to having intercourse with the right person who is trying to genuinely show her that. So it comes based on trauma. I think feeling not worthy is I won't say self-inflicted trauma, but it's trauma that's been put on us. You know what I'm saying? Or been put on the individual.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I feel like
but because of the lack of, I need to cut you off, so I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Because of the lack of mental training, right? The lack to understand, acknowledge the trauma and know this, even though I experienced this is not who I am, and I can grow from this. Because of that lack of direction, or maybe not having the guide through that, to guide the person through that, is why the trauma, the self feeling continues.
Right. And I feel like sometimes too, when it comes to like worthiness, like I feel like feeling unworthy, like you don't even know that you feel unworthy until some shit happens. You know what I'm saying? And then you and then you have to figure it out. Like,
because it's so that's something that you're so used to.
Yes.
A lot of people are so used to feeling that way.
Yes.
When somebody actually brings it out, some people can't handle it.
Yes.
Some people can't handle when you sit and you meet somebody, and you guys know what the fuck I do all the fucking day.
That's a whole fact.
Some people, when you sit and you try to tell them, yo, you have to sit, and I had this conversation earlier with somebody. You have to sit and have that belief and that trust in yourself to know that you are worthy to receive these blessings that you ask for.
Yes.
If
yes.
You understand, and it also comes with your surroundings. This is why patience comes. This is why I always tell people patience is key. Patience is a virtue, because you might just meet somebody, like you said, Shannon. Hey, ha, ha. Oh my God, I'm so happy. But behind closed doors, they don't feel worthy of even feeling that joy that they be fronting.
Facts.
But you gotta sit and you gotta make sure that your surroundings is the people that's gonna sit and put you on your ass. When they sit and they gonna tell you, bitch, you fucking worthy, snap the fuck out of it.
Yes.
If you don't have that type of surrounding around you, and if you don't have that type of support around you, you're never gonna feel that worthiness that you're supposed to feel. Because yes, it's not nobody's responsibility to have you
feel worthy, right? But right,
it's okay to have people to lead you to the water.
Absolutely, and that's why I questioned that earlier. Like, are we not supposed to be feeling like recognition from other people and so on and so forth? Because because in a way, it really helps out. And it's not just people, like you said, it's the environment, it's the people, places, and things.
What is it
when
somebody dies? What is it that we do? We sit and we honor our ancestors, right? Why we honor them? Because there was something that they taught us to let us to be where we at now.
Yes.
It's the same thing. These people were worthy enough for me to sit and light them a candle.
Yep.
These people were worthy enough for me to sit and teach other people about them. Because if we may not expect things from people like a car, a house, money, but I do expect a thank you.
And that shit will take you a long way.
And that thank you will take a long way, because that person just might, that moment not have felt worthy, but because they did something and you felt that they was worthy enough to help you with it, say thank you. And
that's a gem for the night, to be honest with you. People need to be more intentional with their responses, their just their verbalization period. I don't even know if that's a word, but yes, definitely the responses and the way you approach things, we need to be more mindful of, because all of that will take you a long way and someone else a long way. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I don't always, even when I sit.
What's up, Hazel?
even when I sit and I deal with people and something, you know, Shannon, you know, I'll be like, yo, I don't be wanting to fuck with this person, but there's something that's telling me you got to tell them something, or they need to feel something, and I could be deep down like, I don't want to fuck with it. I don't want to fuck with it.
Yeah.
People gotta hear they work the harsh way or the nice way.
Yep.
And we need that.
Prime example of that. Prime example of that.
That's a whole fact.
We need that. We need for people to tell us, yo, you did that, my nigga. I'm so fucking proud of you.
Yeah.
You helped me with that, my nigga. Thank you. I'm so proud of it. We need that.
No, we do. We do.
Need that.
We do. And we don't really acknowledge. We don't acknowledge how how far that could take us. You know what I'm saying? Even believing in God and whatever that you believe in, that they are making us work together. They want us to work together. You understand? Like they want us to be in unity and work together. And for all of those reasons right there.
What's the most famous word that everybody sees? They say it's bad word and it's good word. But it's words.
Yes.
Do what thy will. Do what thy will. You got to remember, God said, we got to sit and do what thy will. He gives us freedom of choice. If you're not going to at least believe in a God or a spirit or something, at least believe in yourself.
But believe in yourself. And the reason why it's so damn hard to believe in yourself is because you don't believe in nothing else.
You don't believe in nothing else.
So I said, what does it mean to not feel?
Trying to put your trust in somebody else.
Absolutely. And looking for something from them. Like you're looking for something from them that you can't even give yourself, nor do you want your higher power to give you.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes when you look for something from other people that you're not receiving it, it makes you feel like you're not worthy of it. Don't feel like you're not worthy of it because that person is not giving it to you. It's just that person wasn't supposed to give it to you anyway.
Bingo.
So some people sit and confuse that.
Bingo! Drop the mic! Yeah!
Right.
So I said, what does it mean to not feel worthy of someone? And I said, undeserving, right? It would basically be the opposite of feeling worthy. So it's like undeserving or something. So we just basically touched on that. Feeling unworthy can be passed down, and it can be a mental illness. Mm-hmm. It can also make others sad, depressed, anxious, angry, shame, and guilt.
Your surroundings, yes. Imagine being around somebody all motherfucking day that I don't got this, and I'm them like that, and I'm them like that. And I'm them like that. And I'm like
I ain't finna lie to y'all. Yo, y'all know I'm not even finna lie to y'all. But if I'm around somebody like that, you know I'm the first one to start laughing. Like, if you don't get out of here with that, baby. You know
no, but we laughing, but it's true. It's true. And the reason why I pinpointed that part as a gem, really for real, is because you won't even notice it sometimes. You are around people all the time who are like that, and they do it in different ways, child. You understand what I'm saying? And it could be the one, they do it in different ways, child. And you be like, you really fall into it because it may be your loved one, it may be your child, it may be your sister, it may be your man, it may be your girl, it can be anybody. Like, and they have that. Stop laughing, Jay. And then but you will laugh until it becomes you. You understand what I'm saying? And then you don't even notice that it's you. And then next thing you know, you in this position where it's like, why I feel like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now you got to fight to get up out of that alone.
You know, that self-worth, it comes in so many forms and so many shapes and so many sizes. You understand what I'm saying?
And so many secrets.
Some people, it's
and
so
hidden
many secrets. And it's so much, like you said, a lot of shit gets hidden under the rug. Some, you know, one perfect example, prime example, again, with your significant other. How many women is out here that sit and give their all? Okay, how many women is out here that sit and they get in a relationship with a man and they do what they're supposed to do and they got their kids and I marry my man and I'm gonna do what I can with my man. And men too, the other way around, because there's
right. I'm about to say the other way too, yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's men out there too.
Yep.
But they don't acknowledge the hard work you're putting in. That will make somebody feel not worthy. Because if I'm busting my ass to show you that I appreciate you and I feel you're worthy and I feel worthy enough to be with you, why can't I get that same energy back? And that will sit and bring anybody's self-worth and self-esteem down. That's one thing. Okay.
Yes.
Again, like I said, as an example,
absolutely,
there's many people out here when it comes to like generational trauma or when it comes to family trauma. Again, you could be an example, being in a household. I'm going to use myself. I didn't think growing up I was worthy enough to sit and be a part of my family. Why? Because I was the darkest one. I didn't grow up with oh, my nena linda, my beautiful girl, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, I love you.
And you are so beautiful.
I grew up with oh, you know, you got kinky hair, King Kong's daughter, and motherfucking feed the banana. That's the
right,
shit.
Just because you look different from your siblings.
Because that will bring somebody's self-worth down until you grow the fuck up and you sit and you realize, bitch, y'all just off motherfucking mad.
So y'all realize that I'm gonna be the one that's gonna hit the first mill in the family, and you gonna me for my cash app because you need it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah. But imagine as a child or even growing up, just in general, like imagine feeling like that. You ain't thinking about what's going to happen when you're an adult and you make $1 million. You ain't thinking about that.
Right.
You know?
It's true. Like, it's true that, you know, growing up, that how that trauma from growing up from somebody to somebody else, you know, just like she said, it's the same thing. Depression. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. People don't understand, like, and I've learned this recently, probably in the past couple of months. Bipolar disorder and split personality, that anxiety and depression, all of that is personal traits that are handed down.
Hey, Flip.
From family. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I have a cousin right now that we have a lot of stuff in common, like a lot. Like it's ridiculous. And she was one that recently got a diagnosis. And I looked at her, she said, "Did you ever think you had this diagnosis?" And I looked at her and I said, "Are you goddamn crazy? I'm me. I don't need a damn psychiatrist to tell me that I got a diagnosis."
So you know you crazy. That's what you saying?
I'm just like, no. And I told her, I said, I don't need a psychiatrist to tell me, right, that because I laughed, because I didn't take what you said personal, I got a sickness. I just found it hilarious. It didn't fit in my category.
So I want to say something when it comes to like the bipolar, depression, when it comes to borderline personality disorder, when it comes to stuff like that, yes, it is a passed down thing, because when you have a family member that's going through a mental trait like that and they didn't take care of it, that's not what they taught you. So when it comes down to you end up handling it the same way they did.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? When it comes to that as well, many people confuse depression is real.
Yes.
And borderline personality disorder with depression is very real. And what people have to understand when it comes to that as well, yes, you need to see a therapist, but there's so much things that people go through in life, that the borderline personality disorder, that's just the other personality that you create to defend you, because nobody else is there to defend you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So some people have to, when you grow up in a generation of depression and all of that, and it's not being handled correctly, it's going to get passed on to you, and then you start feeling like you're bugging. And it's going to sound crazy what I'm going to say, but when you start realizing like, oh shit, that was passed down to me, and you start understanding how to deal with it, you start thinking you're bugging.
Right. So that's what I was about to say. I was about to say what you said.
Right. That's true.
Conversation and me joking around, just being myself, right? Being my true self.
We know.
I'm sitting there working, and I'm like, yo, I don't really think about. I didn't really think. So I tell her, joking around, like, nah, you're bugging. I'm not. I would never, like, if I needed to, I would. You know what I'm saying? If I felt within myself, I would.
But what she was asking you to do, she was asking you to get on meds, or was she asking you to see a therapist?
So she was asking me to go see a therapist because she was trying to tell me, like, yo, if you didn't know, I'm just now finding out after doing my research and investigating after my diagnosis that this is something that goes back from, like, our great-grandparents.
Okay.
And, like, you know, it's one thing to hear it from my mom's side. To hear it from my dad's side, I'm like, huh?
But it's like a generational curse, though, as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
and that gets passed on. It
Yeah.
gets passed on.
It gets passed
All
on.
of that gets passed on, and it's all up. It's up to you to sit. And that's what I said. You were the one that we the ones that could drink the water when people need us to it.
right.
We the only ones that could drink.
So that's how I felt, though. So that's what I'm trying to say. That's how I felt when she was telling me, like, yo, I think you should go get this checked. Like, you should go get yourself checked out or whatever. You know, I know you doing your thing. I know you know, seeking your own thing. I think you should go see a psychiatrist. And I'm like,
I think so too.
Yo. So I'm joking with her until she said that this was something that she ended up investigating at this comes from our great-grandparents.
So she was just putting you on. It doesn't sound like she was putting you on. You know, my father has said that to me. So that kind of stuff runs in, you know, more people, families than not.
She was putting it on, and then what happened was I ended up, as days progressed, we ended up keep conversating, whatever, you know, we talking and just having regular old conversation. And then I was realizing that what she was telling me was the traits. Yo, I started dying. So she's like, oh, there you go. You having a bipolar moment. I said, no. Hold on. That's the ADHD that's kicking in from when I was a kid. That's not bipolar.
No,
so y'all started joking about it, basically.
Let me tell you something. Don't get it fucked up.
But do you know that feeling unworthy can come with depression?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That is a form of depression. You know that, right?
So in the conversation, as days progress, I met, this is where I'm trying to lead to, is the depression part. As y'all know, I've dealt with a lot of shit the past 2 years, year and a half. And it got to a point where I told Booby this. I told my godmother this. I panicked one night. I was in the shower. And at this point, I was ready to throw in the towel. I was just ready to give up. I was at a point where it was like, Mom, my conscious mind was telling me not to, but my subconscious mind was like, yo, you're not going to make it.
Yeah, you're not worthy enough to make it.
Right? So it was like, even though my conscious mind kept telling me, like, yo, Jay, don't give up. Like, you got this. Everything is, like, things started coming out to me little by little, and it was the small pieces, right? Think about it when you put a puzzle of 1,000 pieces together. They're very small pieces, but the corners are most likely the bigger pieces. But because my puzzle was getting built from the middle, I didn't see everything as what was forming. And I never in my life, and I thank God that it was up until that point, I never knew what it was like to feel depressed. Like a depression. I never knew what that was like. You know, I've gone through my emotions where I felt sad. I didn't feel like I was like, yo, what the hell? Like, you know, damn, why are my shoulders so heavy? Like, I'm just tired. I knew what that felt like, but I never knew what it was like to hit rock bottom. And I always heard people say, you don't know what it's like to hit rock bottom. When you hit rock bottom, you're going to realize one or two things.
When your face hits that flow, motherfucker. No.
Yo.
When and I was
literally, I kid you not, I was this close to hitting the bottom. And just to elaborate on that, I was so in an emotional wreck where it was like, this is what I want and this is what I'm aiming for, but this is where it's not headed. And I was kind of like on a seesaw, like weighing out my options. And I knew that what I wanted was not what was going to happen.
Okay.
And so even though what I completely wanted 100% wasn't in my path to continue, I wasn't being thankful enough for the little things that were opening up for me. Mm-hmm. And so I kept sobering. I kept, pondering upon what I'm not worthy. Like I'm never going to be good enough. This is not. This
right.
Is
you was missing what is actually helping you to get back to that space of feeling worthy.
So I was at this bottom and I went to shower. And as I'm in the shower, it got to a point where I won't ever close my eyes in water. And I closed my eyes and I was just standing there and I envisioned as I'm closing my eyes, it felt like almost I was seeing myself outside of myself, literally harming myself and not being afraid. When I realized that, I opened my eyes in such a panic, and I said, this is the point that before I hit rock bottom, I'm running. And I don't know where I'm running, but I'm going to run.
Right.
When I tell you that I got out that shower, listen, I got out that shower. I kid you not, I got out that shower. I put my clothes on. And when I sat on that bed, I immediately went into, I went into, like, think about it like a turtle, right? When they trying to protect themselves, they go into their shell. I immediately went into my shell, and all I could do for the next 3 days was pray.
And when that happens, and that's when
people were asking me questions in my face, and I would not open my mouth to speak. The things that my responses were either I would not.
And that's when that's when people say, when that happens, that's the form of finding your self-worth. Nah, I'm worthy enough to stay the fuck alive.
Yep.
That's the main thing that people have to. That's the main thing people need to be worthy of.
Yes.
You need to be glad that you are, that God feels that you are worthy enough to go.
And also, I want to say that you have to be grateful and so thankful that you were able to even get yourself out of that space. If you are, when you are in that space, when you are in that space, that is not a space that you can always get yourself out of.
Yep.
Okay, because you're so vulnerable at that moment.
I fought so hard out of that. What caused me to go in that shower was I was told, if you just stop breathing, everybody will be happy. And I looked, and I'm like, I'll stop breathing. Am I bugging with what the hell I'm hearing right now? Like, that's not what I want to hear. Not right now.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you literally talking to yourself back and forth.
Literally talking to
myself. It's me, Mickey.
Right.
God, it was like Jay and the devil fighting each other.
Let me ask you a question. Is insecurity and worthlessness the same?
Yep. I feel they're at the same bracket. They're in the same bracket. Because if you're insecure about yourself, you're not feeling worthy. See, a woman that's secure about herself knows she's worthy to sit and feel secure about herself.
That's right.
I know I could do this. I know I'm this. I am this. This is who I am. I love me. I know my boundaries. I know my peace. I know what I want for peace. I know this. Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Can't nobody tell me shit. Can't nobody tell me shit. So, well, we all have insecurities at times, right?
I have insecurities about my stretch marks, right? That was one of my, I had. You see what I said? I had insecurities about my stretch marks one time. I really did. But I said, these stretch marks don't make me.
That's right.
So I don't give a fuck. I know I got these stretch marks.
I had insecurities about these big ass ears that I got on my head.
And you know where it came. You know where it came from. And I also want to be clear that having a moment is not your moment, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Having a moment is not the end all do all. So even with us having insecurities at times does not qualify us to be insecure. So definitely that. And yes, I do agree with you, Tamika, that being insecure definitely goes hand in hand with feeling worthlessness. Yes. You know, and it's crazy because it's crazy because so many people feel that they're not insecure, but they really are. Right. And they show that through their lack of worth.
And not to sound shady and not to sound fucked up. Shout out to all the people in this world.
But what happened?
But there's motherfuckers out here that we know we look at them and be like, yo, how you got somebody, son? Because they enough to sit and get. So come on now.
Right. That's just Tamika talking her shit. That's what she do.
Say it again. I'll take the 30. Say it again.
Motherfucking crazy, and they got a bookie. Like they knew they were worthy to have that bookie.
They knew they was worthy.
So cut the shit.
Cut the shit. Cut the shit. Get your worth up. Get your worth up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad I got y'all on because this next question, I don't know if I would have been able to answer it all by myself. But what makes you feel worthy of something?
My confidence.
Let me see. What makes me feel worthy of something?
I say my confidence.
I'm looking for the word for it. My resilience. Like, I'm a bounce back motherfucker, I swear. And it's like, oh my God. I am a bounce back motherfucker. My resilience is crazy though. And that is with that's one of the things that's like a big thing for me that I just realized, you know what I'm saying, that definitely I take pride in with my worthiness.
I'll say.
Yes.
I'll say. Me is more coming from where I came from and growing up the way I grew up and living the way I live. When I hear that, even just by me telling somebody, oh shit, what's up? That helps somebody, that makes me feel great. Like, I don't give a fuck about my looks. Y'all niggas see I go outside looking motherfucking crazy. I don't give a shit about none of that. About what makes me feel worthy is when people come to me and say I need help and they trust me with that. That makes me feel worthy.
Ashe. I like that. Yes. Because you were the healing queen, girl. You the healing queen. Like, what we going to do without you? Like, what is we doing without you?
Right. You know what I'm saying? That makes me feel good to know that my soul. Everybody has to understand that the physical form is not your worth; is your soul. Your soul is your worth. You
That's
understand?
Right.
So as long as people is comfortable around my soul, I don't give a fuck because I could, God forbid, knock on motherfucking wood. Knock on wood. That's what people gotta understand. You could get into a car accident right now, God forbid. You could get into have a stroke right now, and your whole face is deformed, but your soul gotta stay the same.
That's right. That's so true. Oh my God, that is so true. Jammin said her ability is to persevere. Mm-hmm. Persevere.
I say.
Yes.
I say.
I say. I wanna. Is that like the same as resilient?
It's same category.
Same.
It's the same. It's the same.
Yes. To get through, basically, that's what that is, right? So some other ones that I wrote down. Well, not for me, but just in general. But we can relate would be like self-respect. You value your space and your time and your life, right? You hold an inner peace that carries you throughout your days. May they be long. So, you know,
like perfect example. Let's say you in a situation where you sit and you're like, oh my God, I don't. Some people lose their self-worth because of the shit that people put them through, right? Relationships, friendships, you understand? Having a friend that you said and you were a friend to and they still did you wrong. People won't understand why they did that. Why? I didn't do anything.
Right.
Why would they do that to me? Was I not worthy? That falls into the category. They wasn't worthy of your friendship. So you gotta sit and say, I know my worth and I know as a friend I didn't do anything, and you can move forward. But if you don't know your worth, you will sit and allow that to bring you down and fall into a depression.
Absolutely. And it's funny that you say that because I said disappointments comes with feeling unworthy, you know, or causes for feeling unworthy, disappointments like you mentioning right now, you know, and unable to accomplish unrealistic goals. You know,
some people, we all meant to be billionaires. All of us is meant to be billionaires, but not all of us have the ambition to do it. Some of us, our path, we may Not saying that nobody couldn't do it. You understand what I'm saying? But maybe it wasn't meant for you to be the billionaire. It was meant for somebody that was coming after you to be the billionaire. And you had to start the path.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's not that. Some people, we have to be realistic. That's like me. I want a motherfucking Lamborghini. Yes, the fuck I do. But I know for me to get there, it's going to take a motherfucking while. I got to have realistic things about now. Right now, I can't afford a Lamborghini, but I know I can get me a little Honda. I'm going to get my Honda.
Right, I'm going to give me a Honda. I'm going to get my Honda. And shout out to the Hondas because, they be trying to act like Hondas ain't foreign cars, baby. And like it ain't pushing when them Lambos ain't pushing. Okay?
You know what I'm saying? Now, but I know I'm worthy to get more than what that is. I may not be able to reach there. As long as you, and it's not saying that you, and again, it's not saying that you can't make there, because as long as you're grateful, you will get there.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right.
As long as you're grateful, you will get there. You have to be grateful for what you have now, and sometimes it's hard. It is hard, especially with certain situations, but when you know your worth,
baby,
you know that I'm worthy enough because I'm a grateful motherfucker and my soul is right. You're gonna get there.
I got some things. I have some ways that you know when someone is not worthy of you, right?
Okay.
They aren't validating your feelings. They aren't making an effort to spend time with you. They lie. They pull you close and then shut you out, right? And they do hurtful things to you. So I just wanted to let the audience know, if in case they didn't know, that's just a few things to be able to understand and tell how you are not worthy to someone, or they do not feel like you're worthy to them.
They don't value your
They
worth.
do not value your worth. What I do want to answer, what I do want to ask before, time is up is feeling unworthy a mental illness?
Yes, because it falls into the depression. It falls into the low self-esteem and the insecurity. So you have to get help. You have to get help. You have to get help.
A lot of mental illness, how it's defined, is like you could be born with it or you're born with it, right? It's very rare that we hear like mental illness is something that you gain through certain trauma or whatever. But we talked a lot tonight about how worthiness or feeling unworthy is gained.
It's true. So, I know I don't want to say gained by other people, right? Because, like I said, feeling unworthy is caused by other people. You understand what I'm saying? Other people cause you to feel unworthy. Because of the actions that they make. When you, like I was saying earlier, if I know I'm a good friend and I know I'm moving right, I shouldn't feel unworthy because of the actions that somebody else did, because they don't feel worthy or they felt like whatever it was that they feel. Absolutely. We have to
live in an attitude of gratitude. Yep.
We have to live that way. And not only that, we're born into a DNA where the DNA remembers generational shit. So the depression and all of that is going to be remembered in our cells. It gets activated when we go through trauma. That's what that and we're born with it. So
okay. I like that. That makes sense. Yes, I like that. That makes sense. I feel like it has to be like that. It is like that because those feelings are heightened really quick and you accumulate them so fast, and it can happen to anybody at any moment.
And the way the world is and the way humans are, people fall into the depression gets activated for the most stupidest shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like the depression gets activated. You could be like kids fall into the depression, and I'm saying that as an example. There's certain children out here, like especially now in the generation, that their DNA, their depression DNA gets activated because they didn't get a toy they wanted. You understand? So everybody's depression activation is different.
Right. And that's why Jamin said it's a part of mental illness, but I think it's also human. Yeah, it is human. But when we say human, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Like what defines that?
My depression gets activated when I don't see my paycheck at midnight and then it hits my account at 12:02.
Hey, shut up, stupid.
Okay. Okay. So it's kind of like,
No, it is.
I would say
has to deal with mental health. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I would say that when you start to feel it is a form of trauma, right? And when we allow others to inflict trauma on us, right? Think about it when we in relationships now in our 20s and 30s, right? Even in our 40s, that